What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction, and in this one we have "Stop Preaching India." Jaishankar's brutal attack on EU after Europe's Kashmir and Pakistan hypocrisy. I'm very ready to jump into this. I always love hearing Jaishankar call out the hypocrisy of the West. Before we dive into this, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you like to support the channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit the join button to receive your exclusive benefits. Let's get right to it.
Well, look, when we look out at the world, Samir, we look for partners. We don't look for preachers. Particularly preachers who don't practice at home what they preach abroad. And I think some of Europe is still struggling with that problem. Some of it is changing. So, the issue for us, I mean, in many ways, Europe, I think, has entered a certain zone of reality check. Now, whether they are able to step up to it or not, it's something we will have to see. But from our point of view, if we are to develop a partnership, there has to be some understanding, there has to be some sensitivity, there has to be a mutuality of interest, and there has to be a realization of how the world works. And I think these are all work in progress to differing degrees with different parts of Europe. So some have moved further, some a little bit less. So at home, to get people to understand that we have now reached a size and a stage where almost anything consequential that happens in any corner of the world matters to us. And if we are setting up a research station there, or if you have a policy, or a few years ago we passed legislation on Antarctic, we created a Indian Antarctic Authority. These are not just scientific initiatives. I mean, they are obviously, but there is a larger importance to what is happening here, especially the Arctic. And in a interesting way, I think the controversies of the last few months, not just in India, I think it has brought out to the lay person the significance actually of the Arctic, and people write learnedly and talk learnedly about this today, which they wouldn't have done 6 months ago. So, in a paradoxical way, the shifting, the sharpness of the geopolitics and the geoeconomics actually has brought attention and created an awareness. Now, what should we be doing?
I feel like at Jaishankar, they've reached a level to where everything that happens on the world stage is consequential and it matters to India, because you're talking about the economy raising. I think they at number 4 at the moment of largest economies in the world, and coming for number 3 quickly, or are they number 5 right now, coming for number 4 quick? Either or, India is on the rise in a big way. The infrastructure, everything happening in India. So yeah, they are at a stage where, give it a decade or two and you're talking about a superpower. So, and then for the EU, for Europe to, they preach all this stuff, yet when things happen in India, yet when things happen there, they don't practice the same things they preach. So you can't be hypocritical of India. If you're not going to follow the same standards that you try to put on them, you're not going to follow them yourself.
Again, I put it to you that whatever we seek to do, or we hope will happen in respect of Arctic, will be a function of what is happening in the world. I mean, countries are not going to do one kind of diplomacy on every other issue and a different kind of diplomacy on Arctic. So what is today happening in the world? Because you can't divorce the future of the Arctic debates from the direction of the world. I think you are having in a interest, because President, you brought it up. I mean, a United States which has a dramatically different position, and it has a dramatically different position actually again for two very ostensibly contradictory reasons. On the one hand, there's a belief, at least in large circles, the ruling circles in the United States, that the developments of the world, the direction of the world order in the last 20, 30 years has not gone in their favor, and that they no longer benefit by upholding a world order in which somebody else has gamed to their detriment.
Yeah.
But there's the other side of it. The United States is also today much more self-sufficient than it has been for a long time. Self-sufficient in energy, self-sufficient. Interestingly, the U.S. today, there is immigration is part of the debate, but the U.S. is really looking at rebuilding using technology and a certain level of manufacturing as a game changer. So the combination of what they believe are better resources, greater creativity, their technology leads. So you have both a disenchantment with the past and a promise of the future, which say where the US says, the rest of you who used to be with me, well, I'm now done a cost benefit and maybe you don't look so good now.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Once this administration got in office, they were just like, yeah, the deals we got with everybody just ain't working. We y'all are benefiting a lot more than us, so you know what? It's time to start switching things up. Me personally, I was like, I don't know if you should kind of push your allies away, right? Yeah, I don't know if you should push allies away because I feel like even in countries that we were actually getting more benefits from, we still kind of punish them in a sense. We keep going back with tariffs, no tariffs, tariffs, no tariffs, tariffs, no tariffs. It's just a back and forth thing. I don't know if it's ever going to stick permanently, but in the U.S. being more self sufficient, I guess that is kind of news to me. I don't know too much about energy and these things and how sufficient the U.S. is, but I mean, from what Jaishankar saying, like, I mean, I guess it's a good thing that we have this kind of self sufficiency. But I believe in alliances and having allies, and so I don't know.
I am willing now to navigate a world much more on my own. Now, if you look at the number two economy of the world, they were pretty much doing that anyway, because that has been part of their history and their tradition and their politics. Now, when you come to Europe, I think Europe has a real predicament on its hands. A few years ago, say 5 years ago, Europe thought it had an optimal positioning, that between energy from Russia, the Chinese markets and American security, it looked all very neat.
I feel that.
Each part of it today is under stress, to put it very politely. Now, on top of it, Europe had a selective belief in the indivisibility of the world. When it liked the world to be connected, they believed in indivisibility. When it didn't, there was a fortress Europe. So what has happened is Europe is today under pressure to change because the realities of multipolarity are dawning on it. I think it's still not adjusted and absorbed it fully. United States has dramatically changed position. The Chinese are doing what the Chinese were doing. Russia has, again, Russia's connection with the Arctic, you know better than me. I mean, they have built it into their history, I would say almost their folklore, in a way. So we are going to see, in a sense, arena or a domain of contestation, which is not going to be easy to recall. Now, this is not unique. I mean, we are going to see it in space. We're going to see it underwater. We're going to see it in AI. So we are looking at a much more contested world, much sharper competition, where it will be a challenge for the world and for individual nations to find some kind of equilibrium and get people to work
Yeah,
together. It's
yeah,
not going to be that easy or comfortable to arrive at.
no, yeah, that is the world we're stepping into. It feels like where it's starting to. I mean, with the U.S. and the administration in place now, it's like a kind of a every man for themselves. It's a thing. And with Europe in a situation where they were benefiting from China's markets, benefiting from U.S. security, benefiting from Russian energy. And if it starts to become every man for themselves, now Europe's got to figure out their predicament. They've got to figure out their situation. They have to become more self sufficient. And we know India is already on that path to being self sufficient. So that's a very interesting situation. Please talk to me in the comment sections. Let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, get a bit of thumbs up. Check out the next. I'll see y'all next time.